Hello, and welcome back to another episode of EclecticElk Vlogs 2, Proteus. My last episode was a little bit heavy, and, well, this is a vlog, and life sometimes gets heavy, so I'm not going to apologize for that. Today I have no idea what I want to talk about. Again, all I know is that I want to talk, so here it goes. I feel a bit better than my last episode. And I think I feel a bit better because I know that the grieving process has started. That, I have cried a little, I have talked it out a little, I have to put some things in perspective. But I recently realized something kind of sad in the midst of my grieving process. And that was that it's really, really sad how well we think of people only when they're dead. Over a year and a half ago, I had a grandparent die who didn't necessarily have the best reputation in life. I didn't see him very frequently. I remember some times where he said some things to my brother when he was very little that I wouldn't have deemed appropriate, and he wasn't necessarily, in my eyes as a person growing up, the greatest person ever. But then at his funeral, I hear all these things and all these perspectives that no one had ever told me before. Like how, no matter what, even though he had issues with alcohol and addiction, he made sure that his kids were always provided for. He never missed a day of work. He didn't let his addictions and habits stop him from caring for his family. And part of me is like, well, why did no one say this while he was alive? Why didn't we appreciate him while he's alive? And sort of the same thing happened with my grandmother who passed away last week. Suddenly I realized that, although she was at times a very miserable person who struggled with depression for ages, even though that was, part of her struggle, I don't think any of us realized quite how strong and incredible she was until she died. Why do we do that? Why do we fail to appreciate people while they're living? It's just really sad. We all know that with artists. It's literally a fact of life in the West with artists, that artists are horribly underappreciated while they're alive, but as soon as they're dead and they can't produce any more work, suddenly their work is exponentially more valuable. I think we forget that we do that with people. That every person, even with their flaws, has a value. And we underappreciate it while it's alive. I think I've kind of made it a goal now. I've definitely kind of made it a goal now to try to appreciate more people now while they're alive. To say thank you more often, to say, hey, I really appreciate that you did this, or I thought that this thing you did was awesome and thank you. I think we need to do that more often. Because what's the point when they're dead? Yeah, it helps us remember them, but what does it do for that person? I think our lives would be so much more powerful as human beings if we told people what we actually did appreciate about them. I work in a system where I work with people, and I work with so many people who live in fear and who can't seem to be secure in themselves. How powerful would it be if we could point out to them what we appreciate in them. If they could start to build confidence and take more risks and be more themselves, have them feel free to be themselves. I think when people feel free to be themselves, that they do things for this world that are incredible. I think people need to know the good things about themselves so they can fight the bad. I think we should try to be more powerful people. And I know it's hard, but I think it's a battle worth fighting. I always go back to the Babel metaphor, and right now it's just where I'm at. But it's true. We all are struggling to do something, and it's a metaphorical battle. Go tell somebody today that you appreciate them, or something about them. Tell them while they're alive. This has been another episode of EclecticElk Vlogs to Proteus.